So gift Emiko. Am I pronouncing it right? Sorry guys. This is Small Talk with Benjamin Scott. So sorry for cutting you guys off. I had some problems, some technical issue with my light. You know how it goes. I'm just starting this podcast, I'm just starting this show, so you guys will not be offended. So let's begin and let's continue before we stop. That's like back to you. So as we were saying before, are you the one sponsor yourself in school or you have assist, like you have a sponsor
Yeah, I have a sponsor, which is my dad.
that is sponsoring you? Oh, it's a very good man. Very, very good man. Because I know most men that has many wife in a polygamous home, they don't most like let me use 80%. Like most 70% to 80% of them don't sponsor their children. Maybe they might sponsor the senior, the other ones, but they don't usually sponsor all the children. So what are you working towards in this your school you are in right now? What are you working towards? Like whose course are you reading? What do
Um,
you plan to achieve from this school you are doing right now? That brought you from your state, Ondo state, to over here to Delta State. Worry. So what brought you
yeah,
here?
well, first of all, before I come to the school, I have the intention of studying pharmacy, but when I come to the school, it's just a new institution, and then they say nursing is the only course that I feel do. So I just have to comply with it and then move on with life to see where I can. Because it's also one of the science course which I can study. So I just have to here and then study my medicine.
Very good, very good. So like you're particularly studying about medicine right now,
Yeah, I'm studying public health care
public health care.
and nursing.
What does public health care do? But I don't know to that part. Well, like, what are you guys into public health care? Like, when you graduate now, what are you into in public health
Mm,
care?
public public health care. I mean, we we deal with health of individuals like people who are first sick. We give them treatments, then get care for them. Make
Sorry to
sure
cut you short. Is that not the work of doctors and nurses?
it's work of the doctor, but I'm a nursing student, so I can work for you. Uh, we have doctor in our hospital, so
Because like like public health care.
nursing.
What I understand about public is that people and health care. So when you put together public health care, you care about public people and the rest.
We care about
You don't
people.
work like when you are through, you don't work in a pharmacy, you don't work in any of all these hospitals.
That is your choice if you have the money to do that. Like I understand your point. After my school, I have the plans of getting my own place where I can just be self-employed, have my pharmacy store, which I can do the head and live my life. I have that plan. So for me to work in as a public health care does not mean I don't have what I want for myself. I have something I'm pursuing and I have to pass through process before getting there. So I'm on that training. Let me see.
And that training,
Yes.
they teach you in the board or they take you guys to like somewhere like because I understand there are something they call like assistance nurse right now when people do go to hospitals, people who are just secondary school students, like a auxiliary nurse, they just go to hospitals and they work like a nurse, giving doctor all these scissors and the things for operations and the rest. Is that kind of what you are referring to as a public health care?
Public health care, there are norms like if you are a public health care student, it does not mean you cannot work for yourself. Once you get to that position, you actually work for yourself. as I am now like this, I can go to hospital where I'm learning work. Then if there is any person that fell sick that they brought to the hospital, my only the work I'm doing there is helping the doctors.
But
Maybe
is that
one
is actually the same thing with nurse? Why waste your money in a school, waste your money and you waste your time in the school rather than you just going directly and working as a auxiliary nurse by attaching yourself to an hospital?
there is difference between
Is that not more okay? Is that not more time, like you want to make time like than you? How many years? This is your course that you are ready. So this is your public AK. How many years actually is the
is
course?
5 years course.
That is almost the same thing as a lawyer.
Yeah.
If you are going
Me
5 year course, why auxiliary nurse are going for just 1 year, 2 years, and they already know many things? Why didn't you choose that path than just going to become a public health care and going to a school just to get a certificate and later do a thing that a auxiliary nurse is doing as well?
that's the point, but auxiliary nurse, there is difference between auxiliary nurse and a healthcare student, a healthcare nurse. Why am I saying this? Because once you are an auxiliary nurse, you don't have the opportunity for the education. You are just going there for training.
But what I get to
But
understand, because I've dated a auxiliary nurse girl before, what I get to gather is that they actually do give them like something like certificate. Just like if I go to mechanic workshop now, I want to learn mechanic. If I'm true of serving my boss, the person that teaches me how to repair cars, they do give me certificate.
certificates,
Yeah, they do give
yes.
me certificate. So is it not the same thing with what you are doing?
No, it's not the same thing. If you pass through the school, that you need to get your school educational certificate too. Apart from auxiliary nurse, yes, you can go do your auxiliary nurse, then you get your certificate from auxiliary nurse. But it's not the same as you getting your school certificate. Right now, as I'm schooling now, there are two things I'm going to have, which is I have the I have the full say that I'm a nursing student. While auxiliary nurse, they just go, they don't have the educational part. That is just it. They just go directly for the training, then have their certificate, then they have their own stuff. Whereas in educational nursing student, you have the educational, like you have the paper that
Yeah, you
yes,
can work for government and the
yes,
rest.
you have the school
Experience in
certificate,
the school,
and
so
then yes, you still
the
have your,
knowledge.
yes, that is just
But what I would have suggested before we are going to end the show soon, because small talk is Benjamin. I want to answer the last question. Maybe we'll host him again on another episode. We'll host him again on another episode. So what I want to ask now, like, rather for you to go into doing like public health care, why didn't you go to normal school and get a doctor's certificate?
it.
Let
Well,
us end it here.
that is something everyone would like to have in life, but when you look at your financial support and other stuff, when there is no money to assist yourself, you just have to bear and then you move on with life with the little you have. Then with God, everything is possible. From there, you can change your lifestyle. If you want to, you really want to have what you want for yourself, you can still further yourself with your. If I okay,
Probably.
if you like for example now, if I fit get my educational well and then have my papers and I have the opportunity to have my own store on my own, I feel go to maybe other schools where I'll study pharmacy on my own. I feel sponsor myself if I have the money to do that.
Okay, let's cut it because here is small talks with Benjamin Scott. So this is it. Emiko, thank you for coming to the
Thank you,
show.
sir. Nice meeting you, sir.
Yeah, it's nice to have you on the show.
Thank you
and
so
maybe
much.
we'll get to see you again
All right, sir.
on another episode.
Yes, sir.
Maybe by then you are not, maybe we pray before then you are not out of the state or out of the town.
Okay.
So, guys, thanks for tuning up for Small Talks with Benjamin Scott. So, we have to end it here because, as you know, the show stands with small talks and not big talks. So, we just end it here. Love you guys. Peace.